college basketball picks for the best 6 games Wednesday, February 18th, coming your way right now. Buckle up, Jack. You're in the jungle. Off the jump, it's the best bet for today's show, our daily sizzler. It's Vanderbilt, minus 4.5 at Missouri. Now, some injuries for Vanderbilt. Frankie Collins is a game-time decision, trending toward not playing. I like him either way. I think the line's short. It's a Class A team against a Class B team, in my opinion. Now, this line opened at minus 6.5, and because of Vanderbilt injury news, has been bet down to 4.5, which, again, I think is too low. Vanderbilt outscores Missouri by 9 points a game, gives up less points, and turns the ball over less. Missouri turns the ball over a ton, second most giveaways in the SEC. The big thing about this matchup, though, to me, is the strength of Missouri's team is their size, and that's how they beat teams with bully ball. But that's not going to affect Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's a three-point shooting team. They're top 3 in the SEC in both three-point makes and three-point percentage. So that size down low isn't going to bother Vanderbilt's offense. And the Missouri Tigers have the worst perimeter defense in the SEC. They allow the highest percentage of three-point makes to opponents. Missouri will have to make threes to keep pace, and they won't be able to. Again, their strength is down low. They pound it inside. They're a very poor three-point shooting team. And Vanderbilt has the best perimeter defense in the SEC. Where Missouri is strong, Vanderbilt is weak. Where Vanderbilt is strong is Missouri's weakness. Vanderbilt has also been able to get it done on the road this season. 6-2 straight up away from home. Vanderbilt minus 4.5 is today's daily sizzler. But this is the best part. You ready? MyBookie.ag. If you're unfamiliar, they're one of the biggest online sports books that there is. They're boosting the odds on this place simply because it's the Silverback Daily Sizzler. In fact, MyBookie.ag, check them out. They're going to do this 4 times a week. 4 times a week. It's a new deal I just made with them. 4 times a week, they're going to boost the odds on my Daily Sizzler, whatever I choose. Now, you don't know what days they're going to be, so you're going to have to tune in to find out which days they are. But 4 days a week, my Daily Sizzler odds will be boosted only on MyBookie.ag. It will be the only place to get the best odds for the Sizzler of the day. And here's the thing. It's cool because it's available to everyone. That odds boost is for everyone who bets on MyBookie.ag. But if you don't have an account yet, even better. Because if you open a new account today with MyBookie.ag using promo code SILVERBACK, your first bet is refunded up to $500 if it misses. Guys, you are not going to find a better promotion from any capper out there, man. Believe me, your pal Silverback is a man of the people. Arkansas plus 3.5 at Alabama. First meeting of the season between these two teams. Arkansas 9-3, straight up in SEC conference play. Alabama 8-4. Should be a great game. Arkansas has been better against top 25 teams. They're 4-4 straight up. Alabama just 2-5. But let's look at Arkansas as a road underdog. They've been a road underdog 3 times this year and have lost and failed to cover the spread in all 3. At Michigan State, at Auburn, and at Georgia. They've covered the last 3 on the road, but they're against very inferior opponents. Alabama's a huge step up in class, and they fit the profile of the other 3 teams that were favored against Arkansas. I would take Alabama minus the 3.5, but I think the better play here is minus 183.5. These are 2 of the most explosive offenses in college basketball, let alone the SEC. But it's a very aggressive number, and only 8% of Arkansas games have gone over this number, and only 24% of Alabama's games have gone over this number. So I like Alabama minus the 3.5, and I like the under 183.5. BYU catching 12.5 points. Who would have thought that at the beginning of the season at Arizona, the 2 highest scoring teams in the Big 12. Arizona scores 88.2 a game, BYU 86.5. Arizona's the better defensive team, though, and better rebounding team, but BYU, also a very good rebounding team, second in the Big 12 behind Arizona in rebounding. BYU, 1-9 against the spread in their last 10 games, and they've lost 3 of their last 4 road games straight up. But they've only lost by this number of 12.5 once this year on the road at Texas Tech, a different profile team than Arizona, more of a 3-point shooting team. And that's the only game the entire season, at home, on the road, or neutral site, that they haven't covered today's number. Arizona coming off of 2 straight losses on the road at Kansas and at home against Texas Tech. Arizona's a better team, but I don't think these two teams are 13 points apart, especially with BYU's ability to shoot the three-pointer. I think 12.5 is too many. I would take them with the Cougars. Kansas on the road, -6.5 at Oklahoma State. Kansas 9-3 in conference play. Oklahoma State just 4-8 straight up inside the Big 12, but very good at home. 13-3 straight up overall at home. The Cowboys can score, 3rd in the Big 12 in points scored, but they give up a ton of points as well, last in the conference. Kansas is pretty balanced, point differential of plus 9.1 per game. But Oklahoma State has covered this number of plus 6.5 in 88% of home games. The only games they didn't, 2 of them, against Baylor and Iowa State. Kansas hasn't been that good, and especially not that dominant on the road this season. They have maybe the best home court advantage in college basketball, but away from home, they've covered this number of plus 6.5 in just 1 of 9 games. I expect Oklahoma State to keep this game close. I would take the 6.5 with the home team. St. John's, -10.5 at Marquette. You know, something about the Big East, man. I've always enjoyed betting on and watching the Big East. There's je ne sais quoi to it. It's a conference, however, owned by St. John's, UConn, and Villanova. St. John's 3-1 inside Big East play this year. Marquette just 4-11. St. John's has a point differential of plus 12.2 per game. Marquette sits at the very bottom of the conference with a negative point differential of minus 1.7 points per game. St. John's also very good this year on the road against the number. 6-1 on the road this year against the spread. And Marquette, although they're better at home than on the road, is completely outmatched in this game. Lay the big number with St. John's. I do free content every single day, but if you're looking for my best bet of the day, my absolute favorite bet that only goes out to Jungle members, you can have that as well for just $5. It's called my $5 favorite, and the link for it is in the comments section. Last game we're looking at today, Illinois -9.5 on the road at USC. Illinois 12-3 in Big Ten Conference play and really good on the road, 6-1 straight up. But big difficulty covering big numbers on the road. The Fighting Illini have covered this number of -9.5 in just 1 of their 7 road games. And they're traveling to the West Coast, changing time zones, which is always tough to do, especially against strong home teams, of which USC is. The Trojans have covered this number today of plus 9.5, their end of it, in all 12 home games this season. Every single one, 100% cover rate of plus 9.5, including against Purdue and a straight-up win most recently against Indiana. 9.5 is too many to lay with a team changing time zones against a team who hasn't lost by this number once at home. Take the 9.5 with the Trojans. What's your favorite college basketball plays of the day? Put them in the comments section. I'll reply politely, and we'll discuss. Have a great day. I'll see you next time with a little more money in your pocket.